I'm Jeff Cohen. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a clinical psychologist on faculty at Columbia University.
Hi, everyone. I'm Colleen Sloan. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a clinical psychologist at VA Boston.
So today, Colleen and I would like to chat about a therapy that we use when doing therapy, a therapy that's helped me a lot in terms of managing my emotions and a lot of people I've never heard of. So it's called DBT, which stands for dialectical behavior therapy. I'm passionate about DBT as a type of therapy because it teaches really helpful emotional hacks and useful life skills using an organized approach which tracks progress.
DBT has gotten a lot of media attention in recent years. So before we dive in, let's just discuss what DBT is to make sure that we're all on the same page. So as Jeff mentioned, DBT stands for dialectical behavior therapy. This is a treatment that was developed by a psychologist, Dr. Marsha Linehan, a few decades ago. And when it was originally developed, it was designed to help people who struggle to manage chronic suicidal behavior. But since its development, it's really been found to be helpful for a variety of different problems, primarily borderline personality disorder, but also things like anxiety, depression, eating disorders, and substance use.
Yeah, and that's because at its core, DBT is a treatment which helps us regulate our emotions. So in a non-academic way, this means the ability to name our emotions and then use them in ways which are helpful and change them when they're not helpful. And all of this is because DBT is designed to help you live your best life the way you want to live it. It balances accepting yourself with where you are with changing what you want to change. Colleen, want to say more about the structure?
Sure. All right, so there are 4 components, otherwise called modes of treatment in DBT. And these are individual therapy, skills training group, telephone coaching, and consultation team for the therapist. So why don't we start with individual therapy? So this is where you'd meet one-to-one with a therapist in a weekly session and go over your week, focusing mostly on behaviors that you want to change in some way. And in DBT, we prioritize therapy in such a way to keep you alive, engaged in therapy, and actively working on creating a life that's worth living. The second mode of treatment is skills training group, which we sometimes just refer to as a skills class, because that's really what it is. It's a place where you go and you learn skills. So for group therapy, there's a small group of people or clients with 2 co-leaders, both DBT therapists, who teach skills. We're going to talk about these a bit more in detail in just a moment, but I'll just mention the skills modules here, which are mindfulness, distress tolerance, emotion regulation, and interpersonal effectiveness. And I have to say, for me, one of my favorite things about co-leading a DBT skills training group is that the therapists also practice the skills in between sessions along with the group members. Jeff, do you have a favorite skill?
Yeah, so my favorite skill is opposite action. And in that skill, we ask, is acting on your emotion helpful? And then if not, we push against our comfort zone to act opposite of what the emotion would have us do.
I love that one too. And the opposite action skill comes from the emotion regulation module, which is my favorite module. All right, so DBT also includes phone coaching as needed. So with this, DBT therapists will offer phone calls in between sessions to help you apply the skills that you're learning to your daily life. Just like an athlete gets coaching on the field, you get coaching on the field that is your life. It's important to note here, though, that if phone coaching is not offered, then it's not considered full or standard DBT. And then the last mode is team consultation, otherwise known as therapy for the therapist. So this is where your skills group leaders and individual therapists come together to figure out how we can be most helpful in getting you to the life that you want to be living. So you don't go to team, but your therapists do, because, hey, we need support too.
Yeah. So DBT is different from other popular types of therapy, not only because it includes all the components Colleen explained, but also because, as I mentioned before, it balances both acceptance and change. A lot of therapies just focus on one or the other. And we find the balance is really important, because if we just focus on acceptance, we can miss out on personal growth and making the changes in our life that will actually help us change our lives. And then if we only focus on change, we can have judgments about ourselves, be mean to ourselves, which isn't very helpful either. So we really find it's about this balance.
So let's talk a little bit more about the skills that you're going to learn in DBT. As I mentioned earlier, there are 4 modules or groups of skills. You can think of them like umbrellas, and under each umbrella, there are specific skills that you will learn to empower yourself to lead the kind of life that you want to be living. The skills modules can be grouped into ones that are more change focused and ones that are more acceptance focused. So we'll start with the ones that are more acceptance focused. The first is mindfulness, and in DBT, we consider these the core skills. So in your daily life, you've probably seen the term mindfulness and used in a variety of different settings. In DBT, mindfulness is about being present in the current moment with full awareness so that we can choose how to act with intention, rather than instantly reacting to a situation. And within mindfulness, you'll learn many skills that help you be more present without judgment, including how to objectively view your thoughts and then decide how to take action. The second module is distress tolerance, which includes both crisis survival skills and reality acceptance skills. The crisis survival skills help us tolerate stressful situations without doing something that makes them worse. And this starts with accepting reality as it is, even if we don't like it, and then to decide if and how we can change a stressful situation. So under distress tolerance, you're going to learn how to make decisions that best serve your goals. Jeff, can you tell us a little bit more about the change-based skills?
Absolutely, yeah. So the two change-based modules are emotion regulation and interpersonal effectiveness. So emotion regulation is about managing your emotions in a way that works for you. So this means that you can impact and change how you feel about your emotions, not by suppressing or avoiding them, but by actually engaging with them. So in emotion regulation, you learn skills to label your emotions and then change the emotions that you want to change, and then take actions which are aligned with your goals and values in life. And the other change-based module is interpersonal effectiveness. And in a nutshell, this module is about obtaining the outcomes you'd like in interpersonal situations.
So you might be wondering where to find DBT and what to look for. So we recommend finding a therapist or a program that offers all aspects of DBT or standard DBT. So that includes individual therapy, skills training group, phone coaching, and team consultation for your therapist.
Absolutely. And so one place to look to find that is Marsha Linehan's DBT website, because that includes therapists and programs who are certified in DBT. And that address is dbt-lbc.org. We also offer DBT at Columbia for people in New York City. Just look up Columbia Doctors, DBT. And then if you're looking for mental health resources more broadly, I share a good deal on Twitter. You can join me. My handle is @Dr. Jeff Cohen.
So thank you all for joining us. While this certainly wasn't an exhaustive explanation of DBT, we hope that you found it helpful.